Welcome back. It's been more than 20 days since India Today and the TV Today group exposed Jharkhand's fake Naxal surrender scam, a scam where we established how 514 innocent tribal youth from the state were lured into surrendering as dreaded Naxals with a CRPF job as bait. Today, we bring you the ugly face of state apathy towards the biggest red terror scam, with neither the centre nor the state keen to conduct a probe into Jharkhand's surrender swindle.
These impoverished young men, many of them from tribal communities in Jharkhand, cursing their fates. They were offered false bait of CRPF jobs and conned into surrendering as Naxals almost 3 years ago.
1 लाख रुपए दिए, फिर बोला गया कि आपको यहाँ ट्रेनिंग भी होगा, फिर कुछ दिन ट्रेनिंग होगा, उसके बाद नौकरी में दिया जाएगा और बटालियन.
Today, they are outcasts, dumped by those who duped them, shunned by society and scared of the real Naxals in the state.
थोड़ा मुझे घृणा नज़र से देखते हैं, ये तो आतंकवादी है, सरेंडर कर चुका था, तो मैं गांव छोड़ दिया.
The fake Naxal surrender scam exposed by India Today and the TV Today group barely 15 days ago. But shockingly, no one really seems to care. Not the state of Jharkhand, not the centre.
The state government is carrying out an investigation, so let it come out. We are not directly involving because state government is doing its job.
CBI का जांच करने का इंतजार करना चाहिए हमें, और CBI जांच के उपरांत ही इस संदर्भ में मैं कुछ कह सकता हूं.
The scam first came to light in 2012 when newly appointed Jharkhand CRPF IG pointed out that 514 innocent youth were living in Ranchi's old jail campus, which also housed the CRPF's Cobra battalion. He immediately shot off a letter to DG Police questioning the illegal stay. Within days of the IG's red flag, these youth were made to leave the jail campus, their dreams of landing a job crashing and the bribe money they paid going down the drain.
जो बहाली निकल रही थी आर्मी बहाली, तो वहाँ पर तो बोला गया कि आप नहीं कर सकते हैं. क्यों? तो फिर वो बोले कि आप लोग तो आत्मसमर्पण कर चुके हैं.
The police registered an FIR in March 2014, nabbed 2 middlemen but did little else. This despite the arrested middlemen confessing to the complicity of senior CRPF and police officials.
2 या 3 आदमी गिरफ्तार होकर जेल पर आए थे, और जब मुझे जानकारी मिली कि इसी सिलसिले में गिरफ्तारियां हुई हैं, पेपरबाजी इतनी ज़्यादा हो रही थी कि हम लोग को मुझे समझ में आ रहा था कि इसमें फर्जीवाड़ा का कुछ काम हुआ है.
I'm sure bigger names were involved. Those names could have been from the CRPF, could have been from the Jharkhand police, could have been from the state administration or state politicians. I just can't rule out any possibility. But when you are manipulating or stage managing surrenders on such a big scale, running into 5,000, then obviously a whole lot of people, a vast network is involved.
Shockingly, more than a year later, status quo remains. The centre, CBI and the state police, everyone evasive when quizzed about probing Jharkhand's red corridor scam. Opposition in Jharkhand knocking the governor's door, citing India Today's report, demanding a full investigation into the scam.
उन निर्देश युवकों को आर्म्स किसने मुहैया कराया, और मैंने कहा कि आखिर किसने CRPF के कैंप पे रखा है, और तो और उसमें तत्कालीन जो IG थे MB राव साहब ने इसके बारे बहुत डिटेल से कंप्लेन भी की थी. उसके बावजूद सरकार इस पे गंभीरता नहीं दिखलाई है.
For now, a probe nowhere in sight, but too many questions still unaddressed. Meanwhile, hundreds of duped young men and their families eagerly await those answers and justice. With Amitabh Srivastava, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Well, Amitabh is still with us, who actually got us this breaking news story, this exclusive investigation. Now, Amitabh, it's very interesting what is happening. The Chief Minister of Jharkhand is saying, let the agencies do their job. A probe is on in this particular case. He's actually talking about the state police. State police is in collusion. We know there is a conflict of interest. At the point that you have been mentioning, how can a sub-inspector investigate or ask questions, tough questions to his DGP? Obviously, you know, they will meet a dead end. We spoke to the representative of the central government, the MOS Home, Kiran Rijiju, who says that agencies are doing their job. The state government is carrying out a probe, let them do so. My point is, here really the issue is all about a CBI inquiry. State says we have ordered a CBI inquiry. CBI says we don't know about the CBI inquiry. I mean, if there is collusion, if there is CBI inquiry that is required, very openly required in this particular case, where, are, these innocent people actually lost in this whole process of investigation? When will the truth actually come out? The CBI has to inquire in this case, or an independent agency has to inquire. After all, who else should we actually approach for an investigation? The International Court, The Hague.
That's the biggest irony, Sanket. The government of Jharkhand, the Chief Minister himself says we cannot conduct a parallel probe. And this is in fact only half-truth, because nobody has stopped Jharkhand police from investigating any further as long as CBI does not take the case. CBI has not taken up the case, which is also a fact. So whoever is saying the agencies are doing their job, they're economical with truth, as a matter of fact. And at the ground level, they took 15 months. Jharkhand police took 15 months from the time Mr. MB Rao wrote this letter to DGP. Those 15 months were taken just to register an FIR. Within 50 days, they filed a charge sheet. And from May 2014 to May 2015, it's been a year, they are doing nothing. In fact, they have not even reached out to the victims who are willing to testify against, they're willing to identify the set of police officers who used to visit CRPF camp, used to meet them. They can identify. We have shown them their photographs on mobile phones, and they've identified, yes, we know this gentleman, he used to visit us. And which is also the reason why no investigations are being is being done. Nobody is interested in the only thing they are interested in is to sweep it under the carpet, and which is happening as a matter of fact right now. And if we come back to Mr. Raghubar Das, I think he is a very fair gentleman. He has loads of experience. So he is not one of those persons who can actually be misled. The trouble with Raghubar Das, despite of his best intentions, the trouble with him is that he was the person who handpicked Mr. D.K. Pandey as his DGP in February this year. Mr. Pandey was on central deputation, from where he was actually taken into Jharkhand, and he was taken as the DGP. Now it will be a kind of an embarrassment for the Chief Minister to actually investigate.
But Amitabh, won't it be a bigger embarrassment for the government to be told repeatedly, right, and actually the reality is staring them in their face, that there is a fake Naxal scam? And what will be actually a bigger embarrassment for the government? The fact that there is a scam which needs clear answers, or the fact that he has to protect a decision, a purely bureaucratic decision that has been taken?
And Mr. Dilip Pradhan, the ex-jail superintendent, he has also made a very interesting point on camera. He said he was verbally instructed by his superiors, he has even taken their names, to make arrangements for these inmates in that CRPF camp. And then he said he was also sent funds as well. Now in Jharkhand, if you are making available government funds, the security related expenditure funds on verbal orders, now that's a big financial question. I mean,
it's a case of financial bungling in a government where everything is documented. How can verbal orders actually, how can verbal... Now as we sum up, Amitabh, and also build pressure, we'll continue to track this story through the course of the day and also the next few days, till the time we get a convincing reply from the government. If you could wrap up, in specific instances, why there is a strong need of an independent probe in this particular scam?
The most important thing is that why there should be a probe, because there is a scam. The Naxalites were fake, the surrender were fake, but the scam is for real. Absolutely. And the police FIR, they have only glossed it over. They have only ignored the telltale signs of clear forgery. These people were kept in a CRPF camp and they were misled. We have arrested, the police have arrested one intermediary, and the second has actually surrendered, Dinesh Prajapati. Now, for the last more than 1 year, nothing has moved on earth. the investigation stand as it was a year back. The victims, they have not even been reached. The victims are still clueless. And it's a big scam committed on their future. It's nothing less than an earthquake. It has shaken the foundations of their life, their career.
Absolutely.
Which is why I think it is high time. I mean, it's a farce, it's a farce.
Absolutely. And the casualty is 514 according to the India Today report, because that is what we have documented. But Amitabh, what you are actually saying, that this could be the tip of the iceberg, as there is a possibility that as many as 5,000 people could have been affected, who have been branded as Naxals. They have nowhere to go, and perhaps, you know, it's a very difficult situation that the establishment seems to have put its very own people. Amitabh Srivastav, many thanks for joining us at this moment, for all the latest, also for all the latest, the follow-up that you have in fact been carrying out. We'll of course keep tracking this particular story here on Headlines Today till we get a reply from the government, particularly as far as the investigation, independent investigation in this case is concerned.